There is no limit to inquisitive mind and perfection of knowledge. The Infinite Science program focuses on the latest scientific achievements, new developments and unique discoveries by Kazakh scientists. Infinite Science is an opportunity to see the future of science.
Британские ученые создали материал из графитовых нанотрубок, который поглощает падающие на него.
British scientists created a material out of graphite nanotubes, which almost fully absorb light. Their surface reflects only 0.035% of the light. That is why the human eye cannot distinguish what it sees. Hello, my name is Yerkebulanbek Mohanbet, and you're watching Infinite Science. In today's program, from wastes to revenues, how to utilize sulfur perlit-containing substances. Improving the properties of concrete, Kazakhstani scientists present an effective super plasticizer. History of the steppes, excavation works of an ancient city.
Сокращение природных ресурсов, изменение климата, загрязнение. Depletion
of natural resources, climate change, pollution of the environment. All these negative factors force us to turn to resource-preserving technologies. First of all, this concerns the sphere of waste management, for example, in the oil processing sector. Kazakhstan's oil sector produces about 12 million tons of sulfur waste per year. These wastes need to be efficiently utilized. In Zhanakurgan, we have a vitriol plant, and as raw materials, it uses the sulfur wastes of the oil industry to produce sulfuric acid. But as a result of this production process of sulfuric acid, there is also waste. These are sulfur perlit-containing substances which need to be utilized as well. Scientists at the International Kazakh-Turkish University have taken on this task. It is also undesirable to have these wastes accumulate, because any type of waste, even if not toxic, still pollutes the environment. We decided to use this waste in the production of various construction materials. Scientists use this waste in the production of finishing materials, paving flags and breeze blocks. The goal is to improve their functional characteristics. Specialists choose optimal proportions of sulfur perlit with gravel, cement, sand and plasticizers. All the components, in different proportions, are mixed with water, and they are compacted using the vibratory method and then cast into molds. The use of sulfur perlit-containing substances does not in any way affect the technology of production. The materials are produced using a regular method, and that means there are no additional costs. What's more, trials have shown that these materials have greater durability. Let's take paving flags. Their durability can be up to 100 megapascals, and right now there are paving flags of lower quality being sold, with a durability of around 50 to 60 megapascals. And the ones that we were able to produce have a durability of up to 120. Already next year, scientists are planning to open a semi-industrial site for the production of construction materials using sulfur wastes. And staying on the topic, the visual appearance and scale of modern large cities are to a great extent determined by the properties of construction materials. A true revolution in this respect was caused by the invention of cement. Its appearance heralded the era of concrete. Today, almost everything is built using concrete: buildings, roads, bridges, and industrial buildings. And today, thanks to the technological inventions of scientists, the properties of concrete continue to be improved. Quality and ease of laying concrete directly depends on its consistency. It should be liquid enough, fluid and homogeneous. Special additives like super plasticizers are used to give the concrete mixture these properties and at the same time avoid the presence of excess water. There are many types of plasticizers. Kazakhstani scientists have created their own super plasticizer on the basis of naphthalene sulfonic acid. Developments using naphthalene sulfonic acid, this is a well-known chemical reaction. But in this case, this is the first time, because optimization of the process of obtaining superplasticizers using naphthalene sulfonic acid has its own specificities. Here, work starts with a sulfuration stage. Sulfuric acid is gradually added to the ground naphthalene. As a result, we get naphthalene sulfonic acid, or the so-called sulfonic mass. After this mixture is placed into a polycondensation reactor, and an aqueous solution of formalin is added. The last stage is neutralization of the mixture with the use of sodium hydroxide. The third stage requires special conditions. That is why the task number 1 that has to be tackled by the scientist is determining optimal parameters for the reaction.
То есть необходимо рецептуру знать, температуру.
We need to know the so-called chemical recipe, temperature, proportion of components, and the time period. All this has a big influence on the final properties of the product.
Конечные свойства продукта.
The optimal parameters derived by the Kazakhstani scientists allow to increase the quantity of the resultant active sulfate mass to 80%. Thus, with a lower expenditure of raw materials, a higher quantity of high-quality product is obtained. Lowering the water-cement proportion, the super plasticizer simultaneously improves the quality of the produced concrete.
Наши никоим образом не уступают лучшим аналогам, скажем, российским, тем же немецким.
Our products are on par with the best analogous products of Russia and Germany, and even in some respects have an advantage over them. Our costs are lower than theirs.
Чем заявлено ими.
The technology for producing super plasticizers is already at the stage of practical implementation. The first batch of these additives, in the form of powder or aqueous solution, have already been produced. The next step, to expand the scale of production.
Наука дает возможность смотреть во временном
Science gives us the possibility to not only look ahead into the future. The past is also of great interest for the development of humanity. The deeper we look into the past, the further we can see into the future.
видно будущее.
Saganak, a city of the Middle Ages, which was located along the Sirdarya River. At different points in time, it was the capital of Akorda, the Kazakh Khanate, destroyed and reconstructed many times. Its ruins were found back in the 19th century. However, serious excavation work did not commence until 2003. Scholars at the International Kazakh-Turkish University that conduct this research determined that Saganak was a city of the 10th century. In 2010, archaeologists unearthed the eastern gates of the city.
Нами были вскрыты ворота, нижняя часть ворот, она очень превосходно сохранилась.
We discovered the gates, the lower part of the gates. They were very well preserved and made out of clinker brick. Also, during the excavation process, we discovered the lifting mechanism of the drawbridge.
Подъемного моста.
The main discovery of this excavation season was the fortress wall. It is part of the structure of the eastern gates, and what's more, arrow slits have been very well preserved. Using these arrow slits, the soldiers back in those days were able to defend their city.
Вы знаете, это впервые именно эта стена была выложена из.
You know, this was the first wall to be laid out of clinker brick with arrow slits. Similar arrow slits can be found in other cities of the Middle Ages, but mostly the fortress walls in these cities were built using sun-dried earth brick.
Строились из сырцового кирпича.
Throughout the period of existence, the city Saganak was a religious center. That is why scholars were able to find a whole array of Islamic structures. This includes a central mosque, a mausoleum of a distinguished family, and khanqa, a complex of premises for religious practices. This includes a central mosque, a mausoleum of a distinguished family, and a khanqa, a complex of premises for religious practices. Khanqa is a complex which included a multifunctional building, which includes a mosque, a mausoleum, as well as premises for visitors, the Jamaat Hana. There people came to pray. The total area of the city Saganak, including the suburban town, is around 309 hectares, and this means that Kazakhstani archaeologists have a wide field for excavation works, and who knows what secrets of the ancient city await their discovery.
Как улучшить жизнь в регионах с неблагоприятным климатом и экологией? Один из вариантов – это озеленение.
How to improve conditions in regions with a tough climate and ecology? One of the options is greening. But to increase the territory of green areas, it is necessary to adapt the plants themselves to unfavorable conditions. How Kazakhstani scientists from Turkestan are able to cultivate coniferous trees in desert and semi-desert conditions. More on this in our next program.
С нами. До встречи.